Hi boos, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. Today I'm kind of doing a different video. It's going to be about my experience in the military and basic training and reception. So if you do not know, I am enlisted in the US Army Reserves, and that basically means I just go to drill 1 week in a month. Light is bright. I need some shades because your girl can't see. But anyways, I think I'm going to start doing Military Monday videos on my channel. So stay tuned. Just talk about everything military related. So if you're interested in watching this video, keep watching. So I have a couple of notes saved on my phone just in case I forget anything. And I'm going to be talking about my time at reception. So I left sometime around August. I would say late August. I'm not really sure what day it was, but it was August. And I went to Fort Jackson for basic training and reception. So before we even left Atlanta, I was at the airport waiting for everybody else to come to the airport because people came from all over the place, like Alabama. There was one girl who came from Portland, Colorado, anywhere. So basically they come from whatever state they live in to the Atlanta airport. Once everyone arrived, we sat there for a little bit. I don't think we left the airport until like maybe like 5, 6. I was there for a long time. I was there from like noon. So that was a long day, and I was like, nobody's there with me. I had to meet new people, which is okay, but you know, I'm nervous. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. I want to be around people that I know. So once everybody gets to the airport, they line us up wherever you're going. There were people going to Fort Benning, Fort Jackson, like myself. I can't remember the other bases, but those are just a couple. They lined us up so we could load the buses, and they start taking us out. And I'm like, oh my god. I was so nervous. Like, I'm nervous now just thinking about it. So we're walking to the buses, and then we all load the bus. And I sit down, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is it too late? Is it too late to turn around? Because I don't know. But I had to get on the bus, so I get on the bus, and I'm actually in the front because I saw some girl, and I was like, I think I want to be her friend. So I sat next to her, and then what do you know, we became best friends and base. But anyways, I sat next to her because she was very outgoing and loud, and she just talked a lot. So I was like, she'll talk to me, you know. And I think the ride was about 3 hours. I don't know. I really don't remember. I want to say it's 2 hours, but then I just drove 2 hours to Augusta, so it had to be more than that. So I would say it was about 3 hours before we made it to Fort Jackson. And once we arrive, I'm just looking out the window, trying to pay attention to my surroundings, see where I am. And I'm just thinking like, oh my gosh, what is going to happen? Because I did watch a couple videos before I left, and I saw there was a lot of things on Shark Attack where they just come load the bus. The drill sergeants, they load the bus, and they be like, you have this amount of time to get off my bus, and they're yelling and screaming, banging on the windows like, get the f out of the bus. And I'm like, I really hope they don't do that. And so we got there late, around like 9 maybe, and only one drill sergeant came on the bus. It was a female, and she was like, let's go, get up, get out, get out, get out. And so I'm in the freaking front. I don't know why I sat in the front either, because I said I was not going to sit in the front. I like to be in the middle of everything, so that way I don't have to, like, if I don't know where I'm going, I don't have to be looking crazy in the front, like, you know. And I don't like to be the caboose either, because if something happened, like, people grab the people from the back and then you're like, where'd this person go, you know? So I like to be in the middle at all times. So, but I sat in the front and they're yelling to get off the bus, and I'm getting off the bus quickly. And then I also don't react well when people yell. When you yell, it just in one ear out the other, or over my head, whatever one. Like, I don't understand, like, why are you yelling? Chill out. So they're yelling, she's telling me to go line up and do something. So I'm looking at other people line up and I'm like, okay. And there was these little footprints on the ground, and I went and I stood on the footprints. And then the drill sergeant comes and she's like, what are you doing? Is that where I told you to be? No. And I was like, where do you want me to go? Like, what? And so she told me to, I don't even remember, but I was in the wrong place. So she told me to go somewhere else. That's where I went. We lined up and we were just waiting for everyone to get off the bus, get their stuff. And then this is like really cloudy for me, because this was like the very beginning, and I've been out of basic. When did I graduate basic? November, I think. I've been out of basic for 8 months, so reception is really cloudy for me. But I think we lined up, they was telling us something, then we wind up getting down in the front lean and rest, which is basically the push-up position. And so we assumed the push-up position, or the front leaning rest. You will hear it a lot if you're about to go to basic. And so they made us do a couple push-ups, and then they made us hold it, and some people couldn't hold it, so they were dropping to their knees. And then they were like, y'all gonna do it again if y'all don't get off your knees. Towards the end of basic, I was on my knees because they was tripping. Like, come on now. But anyways, I think there I was holding it because I was like, I'm trying to get up, so I don't need to be on my knees. And then they had us there for a little bit, did whatever they did, and they brought us in this room where we filled out paperwork, basically about our identity for our dog tags. And then they made us watch a little video, and they were like, while this video plays, you can walk around, grab you something to eat, come sit back down, and once the video's over, you're done eating. And so they played the video before anybody started moving. And then it was a bunch of us, so we had to file out in an orderly fashion to get the food. And it was all set up in like stations, so you get the meal, then you get the drink or the whatever. And so you go back and sit down. But they played the movie before everyone started filing out to get their food. And then by the time we sit down, like, you had a couple seconds to eat what you was gonna eat or drink what you was gonna drink, and it was done. It was like, all right, you're done, get up, throw your food away. And I didn't even eat nothing. I think I just drank some apple juice, and I was like, what? So that's when I was introduced to the hurry up and eat or you not eating, period. Because they was not playing no games. And then after that, we were just on the go the whole night. Like, we did not sleep my first night of reception. We were up for over 24 hours. We did not sleep until the next day around, like, what time they? Maybe like 6. We did not sleep. We were on go. I was like so exhausted because they're yelling, you're carrying all this stuff. You never carried so much stuff in your life before, and you're just lugging it around. It's a bunch, a lot. So basically they just issue you your items, like your PTs, your laundry bag, your blue book. The blue book is like your guide. They're gonna want you to study it when you have nothing else to do, because you cannot sleep. Sleeping is not an option. If you're sleeping, they're gonna make you stand up, they're gonna yell at you, they're gonna taunt you. You can't sleep, period, until it's time to go to bed. And who knows when that'll be. So stay up, do something. And it's so funny because everybody is so tired. Like, I was doing fine until the next day, in the middle of the day, maybe around like 2 or 3. Like that's when my head was like everybody's head was just bobbing and bobbing and bobbing, and they tell you stand up, do something, because you cannot sleep. And I was so exhausted and so tired because we had not slept. I was like and it's so funny because everybody is doing the same thing and y'all trying to keep each other up because y'all not trying to get smoked or nothing. So that was an experience, definitely. They give you a blue book, and so they tell you to read it because it has the Soldier's Creed, the Army song, just the basics of everything you need to know when you get to basic and while you're in reception. And so they told you to study the Soldier's Creed, and I had looked over it. I memorized a couple lines, but then I didn't memorize everything until I got to basic because they make you do it. When you go to sleep in reception, they take you to what they call a bay. You get a bay, and a bay is just a big room filled with bunk beds for your gender. So we were in a bay the whole time for reception, and our first task was we had a funny drill sergeant, so he liked to play games. So he gave the sheet to one person, and he said, I want the names of everybody in here and the correlating bunk bed number. And he turned off the lights and he left, and he said, we only have a few minutes to do this. So once he did that, you know how when you in school and the lights cut off and everybody's like, oh, that's really how it was, because he said that, giving us only a certain amount of time, and cut off the lights, and everybody's like, oh, what do we do? And I'm over here. I was the last bunk bed, like towards the wall in the window. So I had the light, and the girl comes to the light, and she's like trying to see who all is here, and everybody's yelling, do this, do that. And I'm just like, I think I did say something. I was like, why don't you just start all the way at 1 at the other side of the room, let the people tell their names to you, you write it down and the number, like. But everybody's all in her ear saying, nah, la la la, bunk 3, la la la, bunk 28. Like, it just wasn't, but people don't want to listen. So I was like, you do you. But that's another thing. In the Army, they try and teach you that you're not an individual. You guys are a team. So if I did learn something, that's what I learned. How to work together, kind of. Because some people are really stubborn and just want to do it their own way. And it's like, what can you do? You can't do anything. So y'all all get smoked. That was also a big problem when I was in basic training. The people in my platoon were individuals. Like, we were stuck in red phase for the longest because people wanted to do their own thing, and we just always get smoked. And I was like, are you kidding? Like, come on now, we've been here for how long? All you have to do is just listen, do as you're told, stay out of trouble, period. Chow is like your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And honestly, it was so much better in reception than it was in basic. Like, the food options were just better and the food tastes better. Like, they knew what they was doing back there in that kitchen. I was like, But the sad part is you only have like 10 minutes, if even 10 minutes, to eat your food and get out. I think we stayed in reception for about a week, but it doesn't even feel like it was that long. Like, reception went by so fast to me, it does not even feel that long. That's also where you get your vaccination. This concludes this video. If you guys want to hear more about my experience in the Army, basic training, reception, if you have any questions, drop it down in the comments below. Please be sure to like and subscribe down below if you're not already. Thanks for watching. Bye, boos.